country in our developments. We're deeply appreciative of HUD and Ohio Capital and the State Housing Finance Agency for their support. But the real work comes from the residents themselves when they're determined to change the neighborhood, to change their community, and to provide a better trajectory for the kids. And I am constantly being interviewed by graduate students from all over the United States. Mr. Barron, why did you start McCormick Barron? Mr. Barron, why do you keep doing this work? Mr. Barron, and I say to them, come to Beecher. You'll see why. This is really where I always wanted to be, and it is absolutely the most critical part of what we do. And our staff have spent thousands of hours working here. Jerry Stone, the head of design and construction, and Franz, who's been out here, and Laura, and Urban Strategies, and the management company that will take over now with the residents. And when everybody gets around the table at our offices, now that we're finally back after the pandemic, and I listen to all of the things that aren't happening the way they should, or there is frustration because of this, that, or the other, I say very simply, because I can do that, because I'm the chairman. Nobody ever said rebuilding America was going to be easy. So if the residents are willing to stay the course, then we sure as hell got to be there with them. So that is really what we have tried to do in Beecher. We welcome the opportunity to be a partner here with extraordinary support from the governor and from the congressional delegation and the state legislature and the mayor and his staff and the housing authority. It's been a terrific journey. Lastly, we got another 200 and some units to do. We got construction costs that are going through the roof all over America. And it is important that we finish so that this will be completed along with the continued work of Urban. And we look forward to continuing the journey with all of you.
3.
Metro TV, 1 minute, please. 1 minute. This is the regular meeting of the Committee on Committees. Today is Tuesday, July the 26th. The time is approximately 4 p.m. Metro Council President David James and I am joined by Council Member Keisha Dorsey. Councilman Piagentini has an excused absence. And this meeting is being held pursuant to KRS 61.826, Council Rule 5A. Councilman Winkler and Councilman Reed also have excused absences. The following legislation is assigned to committee. Items 1 and 2 will be assigned to the Appropriations Committee. Madam Clerk, please read these items.
Item 1, an ordinance appropriating $7,000 from District 24 Neighborhood Development Funds through the Office of Management and Budget to Jefferson County Public Education Fund, Inc. for program expenses associated with providing individual or group counseling services to the Youth Service Center at Southern High School. Item 2, an ordinance appropriating $10,000 from neighborhood development funds in the following manner: $1,000 each from Districts 9, 10, 12, 13, and 24, $500 each from District 6, 14, 15, 17, 19, 20, 22, 23, and 25, and $250 each from Districts 3 and 21 through the Office of Management and Budget to the Coalition for the Homeless, Inc. for programming expenses associated with Project Stand Down. Read in full.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments about those assignments? Items 3 and 4 will be assigned to the Budget Committee. Madam Clerk, please read these items.
Item 3 is an ordinance approving a 5th round of the American Rescue Plan, ARP, local fiscal recovery funding to various Louisville Metro government departments to address the continued impact of COVID-19 on the economy, public health, and state and local government, individuals, and business. Item 4 is a resolution of official intent of the Louisville Jefferson County Metro government to finance the acquisition, construction, renovation, and improvement of certain capital projects of the Louisville Jefferson County Metro government and its agencies and departments from the proceeds of one or more proposed issues of general obligation bonds and general obligation notes. Read in full.
Thank you. And do we have any comments or questions about this assignment?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5 will be assigned to Community Affairs, Housing, Health, and Education Committee. Madam Clerk, please read this item.
A resolution in support of issuing a stamp to honor Muhammad Ali. Read in full.
Thank you. Any questions or comments about this one?
No.
Items 6 through 10 will be assigned to the Government Oversight and Audit Committee. Madam Clerk, would you please read these items?
Dr. Tamara Slush and Kristen English, new appointments for Louisville Metro Tree Advisory Committee. Inga Arvin, a new appointment. Joshua Matthews, a new appointment. And Kevin Fields, a reappointment of Waterfront Development Corp. Larry Ash is a new appointment, and Daniel Hoskins is a new appointment of the Fern Creek Fire Protection District Board. Dr. Patricia Baptista Cervera, new appointment. Karen Haskell and Dr. Anthony Zippel are reappointments to the Board of Health. William Brandt Ford and Yanni Vovos, reappointments to the Board of Zoning Adjustment. And I apologize for butchering those names, sir. Sorry. Read in full.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Items 11 through 16 will be assigned to the Labor and Economic Development Committee. Madam Clerk, please read these items.
Item 11, a resolution pursuant to the capital operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the following non-competitively negotiated sole source contract for the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods concerning a media campaign for its trauma resilient community program, Outfront Media LLC, $60,000. Item 12, a resolution ratifying and approving a collective bargaining agreement effective June the 23rd, 2022 through June the 30th, 2028, relating to wages, benefits, and other terms and conditions of employment between Louisville Jefferson County Metro Government and the National Conference of Firemen and Oilers District of Local 32BJ SEIU Chapter 320. Item 13, a resolution pursuant to the capital and operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the following non-competitively negotiated sole source contract for the Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness, LMPHW, concerning evaluation services for the Healthy Start Program, Alliance Consulting Services, LLC, $36,000. Item 14, a resolution pursuant to the capital and operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the following non-competitively negotiated amendment to the professional service contract for Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness, LMPHW, concerning the services of a doctor to serve as the LMPHW Medical Director and its Director, Dr. Jeffrey Howard Jr., MD, $256,013 for a new not-to-exceed amount of $416,021. Item 15, a resolution pursuant to the capital and operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the following non-competitively negotiated professional service contract for Office of Management and Budget, OMB, concerning federal affairs assistance, Simon and Company Incorporated, $60,000. Item 16, a resolution pursuant to the capital and operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the following non-competitively negotiated sole source contract for animal services concerning a blood work analysis device, IDEX Distribution, Inc., $85,000. Read in full.
Thank you. Any questions or comments about those items?
Not at this time, Mr. President.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Items number 17 through 21 will be assigned to the Planning and Zoning Committee. Madam Clerk, please read these items.
Item 17, an ordinance relating to the Butchertown Phoenix Hill Nulu Neighborhood Plan and approving its executive summary as an amendment to the Plan 2040 Comprehensive Plan, case number 21, area 0001. Item 18, an ordinance relating to the zoning of property located at 1118 South Shelby Street containing approximately 0.0772 acres and being in Louisville Metro, case number 22, zone 0027. Item 19, an ordinance relating to the zoning of properties located at 2702 Chamberlain Lane and 3120 and 3200 Collins Lane containing approximately 6.61 acres and being in Louisville Metro, case number 22, zone 0018. Item 20, an ordinance relating to the zoning of property located at 2612 South English Station Road and containing approximately 6.80 acres and being in Louisville Metro, case number 21, zone 0095. Item 21, an ordinance relating to the zoning of properties located at 3200 and 3208 Maldon Court and 5714, 5716, and 5718 through 5746 Maldon Court containing approximately 9.59 acres and being in Louisville Metro, case number 22, zone 0044. Read in full.
Thank you. Any questions about those zoning items?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Items 22 through 24 will be assigned to the Public Safety Committee. Madam Clerk, please read these items.
Item 22 is an ordinance amending section 36.02 of the Louisville Metro Code of Ordinances, LMCO, relating to the participation in the Kentucky Law Enforcement Foundation Program Fund. Item 23 is a resolution pursuant to the capital operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the fiscal year 2023 portion of the following non-competitively negotiated sole source contract for MetroSafe concerning 911 system support upgrades, maintenance, and installation, AT&T Corp., $3,500,000. Item 24 is a resolution pursuant to the capital operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation to fund the following non-competitively negotiated sole source contract for emergency medical services, EMS, concerning CPR, first aid, and cardiovascular care materials, American Heart Association, Inc., $300,000. Read in full.
Thank you. Have any questions or comments related to this one?
Yes, so we put both of I understand the public safety concern on both of these, but because they're non-competitively sole source contracts, should they actually go to labor and econ versus public safety?
I thought about putting them in labor, but I saw you had a full house, and so I was just trying to get everything through.
Okay. Because my only thing that I would ask, that the reason why I didn't bring anything up on labor, is the continued sole source contracting that we see from the administration. And I didn't want to handle some legislation one way and in other legislation another, but I do want the administration to delineate why we continue to have all these non-competitively sole source contracts. If we can, I would like to move it to labor so I can group all them together and we can just get through them. And what I'll do is send out a letter to the administration asking them to come prepared to committee with an explanation as to why these were not competitively bidded out.
Okay, we can do that. I just didn't want to.
Yeah, I would prefer them be there so I can treat them all the same.
Okay, that sounds.
No.
Okay, that'll be great.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, could you move those, please?
So noted.
You're telling me you're going to handle that, is what you're telling me? Okay, thank you. Item number 25 will be assigned to Public Works Committee. Madam Clerk, please read this item.
A resolution determining certain property at 3907 Bargetown Road as surplus and not needed for a governmental purpose and authorizing its transfer. Read in full.
Thank you. Any questions about that item?
No.
Thank you. Last item we have is pending litigation. Legislation.
Got it right.
Sorry. The following two items of legislation are pending. Madam Clerk, please read item number 26.
A resolution of the Louisville Metro Council amending the Metro Council Employee Handbook concerning the Metro Council social media account usage. Read in full.
Thank you. So the discussion on that is that. I'm sorry.
So, can I ask a question? So
Sure.
we know we don't have a quorum, but we can't discuss it until we have a motion and a second. So can we at least get the motion and second, and then they just agree that we're going to forward it without a recommendation? Is that how we should do this?
Holly
I'm
Hopkins
sorry,
with the
Holly.
Jefferson County Attorney's Office. Yes, I believe that's what you would need to do. You do have two people, you can have a motion and a second. So
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Second?
All right. Discussion. So we currently in our employee handbook say, or this is to add, I guess is the best way to say that, where it says Metro Council social media may be used exclusively for streaming council or committee meetings, and we would add, and for postings made solely by the Metro Council media director. So our handbook has not kept up with what has actually been the practice. So our former media director brought us, I guess, to a higher level of social media interaction when she would go to events with council members and say, oh, this is what we're doing on Twitter, this is what we're doing on Facebook, this event is coming up, this is coming up, but she was actually breaking the handbook rules when she was doing that. So in order for the next person not to have to break those rules, in order to move us forward in keeping up with technology, it seemed wise to add this amendment to this, and more discussion or comments are welcome.
No, I mean, I think anything we need to do to stay up with the time, also considering the increase that we see in our numbers that may force many of our meetings back to virtual, where social media is a huge component of virtual interaction. Not only do I agree with this amendment, but I do think if there are more to come, we should keep our ears to the ground as to how to stay on pace, because I feel like we're in an ever-evolving space right now where we don't know what's next, and having that social media flexibility is going to be vital to what we can do. So I support this.
Okay, thank you. So, Madam Clerk, we will just send this forward without a recommendation due to lack of a quorum.
And it'll go to special legislation, okay?
Thank you. Madam Clerk, a reading of item number 27.
A resolution of the Louisville Metro Council amending the paid and unpaid time off benefits chapter of the Metro Council Employee Handbook by creating a new section regarding victims of crime and domestic violence leave. Read in full.
Thank you. May I have I make a motion.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Dorsey. This is something that, well, two things we need to do. There's a technical correction on the last page where it says this resolution shall apply retroactively to April 28th. April 28th is when we actually passed it. April 29th is when it was actually went into effect, because that's when the mayor signed it. So we need to make that technical amendment. But the Metro Council passed this resolution, but we also need to amend our rule book so that we make sure that the Metro Council employees are also covered by this, and not just the executive branch employees. And so that's the purpose for this particular resolution. Open for discussion or thoughts or comments.
No, good common sense legislation. I think we over here, at least when I thought about this, I thought it did include everyone. Sometimes I always think about, because we do so much together. But I think this is good common sense legislation, and I don't know who wouldn't support it. It's common sense.
Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please move this forward with no recommendation due to lack of a quorum? All right. Is there any further discussion of any other issues for the Committee on Committees?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
All right. After this is over, I need you for about 4 minutes. Okay. Thank you. With nothing further to come before this committee, without objection, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here.